welcome to this video. My name is Dave Adams. This is HTML and CSS for novices. In this video, we're going to go straight into coding. We're going to explore how Flex can be used for layouts. So let's get right into Visual Studio Code. Basically, the first thing we want to do in Visual Studio Code is to create two parent divs, and then we're going to populate them with children as well. So what I want to do is Flex Parent 1 and Flex Parent 2. I'm going to duplicate this and then change the class name. Now, obviously, I want to populate this with children. So I'm going to do Flex Children. And probably I'm going to create about 3 children. So I'm using the shortcuts. I'm just going to copy these and then paste them in the second parent div as well. And I'm going to change the ones at the end to 2. So there we have it. We have our parents, our first parent div, which I'm probably going to make a row. And this is going to be a column. So let me just copy this to make it simple for me to reference it in the CSS file. So the first thing we want to do is obviously to apply a border so it's easy to see. So we want to have a 1px solid red. And we also want to specify the width and height. So for the width, I want to make it 100%. And for the height, I want to make it about 500 pixels. And let me copy this as well for the Flex Parent 2. Probably what I'm going to do here is to change this to a blue. And yeah, so let's go into our browser. Let me try to reduce this a bit. And we have 2 parent divs. Let me leave spaces in between and probably change their heights to, I'll change the row height to 300 and space them a bit so they're more distinct. So we have 40px margin bottom. So now they are separated. So for the flex row, what we want to do is to apply the flex first off. So we're going to do a display flex. And the next thing we want to apply is the flex direction. So by default is a row, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to specify it to be a row as well. Now I want to affect the flex children for the first flex parent. So for the flex children, what I want is to specify the border as well. 1px solid green. And I want to make the height and width both 100px each. Same for width. So now going into our browser, you can see that we've created 3 children within the flex row, and they're actually going in the direction of a row, or they are arranged horizontally. Now let's say we wanted to center them, because often that will be the case. What do? So we attack the parent, and for the parent, what we are going to do is a justify content. So if we wanted to center them, we use justify content center. And you can see that basically the children have been centered horizontally. So what I'm going to say about justify content is the fact that it follows the direction of the flex parent. So if the flex parent is a row, obviously it's moving in a horizontal direction and it's going to center its children horizontally. The same justify content in a column will center its children vertically. So these take note of that. Sorry. Now you can see that has been centered. Let's say we didn't want to center it, but we wanted it to start as it already was. So I'm going to paste there and I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to comment this out and I'm going to do a flex start. That is the default value for the flex parent. So as it was arranged earlier. And also we have the flex end, which obviously is going to align it to the right or to the end of the parent. So flex end. And what do we have? We have it aligned to the right side. Now let's say we wanted to leave spaces in between. We're still going to go justify content. And we're going to do space between. So what this is going to do is it's going to space these children out evenly. And it's only going to leave spaces in between the various children. But let's say we wanted space both in between the children and in between the starting and ending children and the parents. What we will go with is space around. And this is self-explanatory. Basically, it's going to have spaces in between the first child and the parent and the last child and the parent, as well as in between the various children. Now, we've talked about horizontal alignments. The opposite of what justify content does is align items. So align items is going to center or is going to align the children horizontally. And it goes against the direction of that particular flex parent. So now that we've done align items center, you can see that vertically the children have been aligned in the center. If we wanted to align the children to the end of the parent instead, we can do that as well by obviously doing flex end again. And you can see that they've been aligned to the end vertically. So if we wanted to align everything in the center, both vertically and horizontally, what we're going to do is to uncomment this align item center and obviously uncomment justify content center, and we'd have the content aligned in the center. And let's say we wanted to space in between horizontally. What we're going to do is to uncomment this, and we would have space in between the children horizontally. So now that we are done with the row, we're going to focus on the column. I think I'm going to make this have a width of 40% instead, just to make it look like an actual column. So yes, it looks like a column more now. I'm just going to copy this and paste it underneath the flex parent and change this to 2 and probably make this yellow so it stands out. So going into the browser, we have, I don't think the yellow stands out too much. So I'm just going to make it this color. So it's more, yes, it also looks green kind of. So as I was saying, justify content in a column will align everything vertically. So we're going to just steal this from here, justify content, center, and paste it within our flex parent. Obviously, I forgot to apply display flex, which is very important. And we have to change the flex direction because by default, it's arranged in a row. So now we have our flex direction column. Now I want to justify the content in the center. And you can see that it's been evenly spaced and it has been centered vertically. So let's say I wanted to also align it horizontally. What I'm going to do is to steal this, align item center, which I said goes against the direction of that particular parent. So now we have the item centered both vertically and horizontally. If we wanted to have spaces in between, we would go with justify content space between, and we'll have spaces in between in the vertical direction because it's a column. And we can see that that has happened right here. If we want to space around, we would be able to do that as well. And that will leave spaces around vertically as well. So that's how it goes. Now, one thing I want to show you, but before that, I'm going to number the children by placing some text. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's go. And you can see that everything has been numbered. One thing you can also do with the flex direction is to reverse everything. So the flex direction could be a row reverse. And what will happen? This is exactly what is going to happen. So 3 comes first, 2 comes second, 1 comes last. The same can be done here. So we can have a column reverse. And that will be done here as well. So 3, 2, 1. So Flexbox is very interesting. It gives you a lot of flexibility and it makes everything easy. So as I said in the previous video, normally what happens is with the layouts on a laptop screen or a desktop, the width is mostly big, so you can arrange stuff in a horizontal manner. But as the screen real estate reduces, you'd have to rearrange everything into a column. So you use a concept called media queries, which adapts the content to the screen size. So as everything reduces, then it gets arranged in a column and it makes it more presentable on mobile devices. Otherwise, stuff will look out of place. So basically, that's what we have on Flexbox today. I know this video is quite long, but I really wanted to exhaust everything and give you a good basis to start with Flexbox. I'd encourage you to study more, to explore more, just to play around with Flexbox, and you'll be good to go, because it may seem like a lot of information at once, but you'll be fine. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, like, subscribe, and share, and turn on post notifications as I post regularly. In the next video, we're going to talk about grid.